please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
Hello and welcome to Your Stocks. I'm Anisha Jain and with me is Nigel D'Souza. Good morning, Nigel. Good afternoon, Nigel, for that. But in terms of the markets, the Nifty is really uninspired today except the last few minutes where we saw a bit of volatility. We have been fairly range bound at the 30 points mark, around the 10,010 mark. As far as the mid-cap is concerned, that one is catching up. Yesterday it was underperforming a bit, but today a slight bit of outperformance coming in from the mid-cap space, up around 0.7%. In terms of the key stocks that are buzzing today, well, on the gaining side, we have UPL that is doing well in trade, and so is the others in terms of we have Lupin as well as Power Grid doing well, and on the losing end we have Tata Steel as well as Vedanta coming under a bit of pressure. Absolutely,
Anisha. I don't think you're shopping too much for your big day because the PC Jeweller suddenly has fallen to the low point of the day. So PC Jeweller should come up for you on the screen. The sharp downtick is what we are seeing there. But just take a look at the option space. The PCR has now moved to around 1.4 from around 1.2 at the start of the series, telling you there's a lot of action on the put side of things. And today, that's precisely what's happened. Today, as well as yesterday, we did see the 10,000 put. It's very, very active even in today's trading session. The 9,900 put as well. Remember, the most active puts for the last few trading sessions have been the 9,900 put as well as the 10,000 put. So what that means is, if someone's writing the 10,000 put, he's looking to eat that premium of around 75 to around 80 rupees. His stop loss comes in at around 9,920. Pull up the 9,900 put as well. Today, that one as well is fairly active up. The open interest is close to around 6 lakh shares. So fair to say that 9,850, that's the level that the bulls are looking to defend. And on the upside, I was taking a look at it. The 10,000 call is very active. Now, when the premium is at around 90 to around 95 rupees, it's it's difficult to imagine that someone's going out there and in fact buying that particular put. Premium of around 95 rupees, that's quite high. So the smarter money seems to be writing that. And that explains that despite the fact that the Nifty is up by around 25, 30, 35 points today, yet or there we're not seeing any kind of movement on the 10,000 call. So that's pretty important as well. On a normal day, Nifty moving up, call premium should be moving up as well. And that's the 10,000 call we're talking about. Support levels, well, that's up for you on the screen. First level comes at around 9,977. 50 DMA, that's a crucial one at around 9,950. So keep your eye out on the screen. First up though, let's run you through all the top stories as we speak. Steady gains on the Wall Street as the Nifty holds above that 10,000 odd mark. The Sensex gains close to around 100 points. The mid caps outperformed today while the Nifty Bank trades in line with frontliners.
And Lupin is the top Nifty gainer today after getting the final US FDA approval for hypertension and angina drug Corgout generic. Biocon 2 gains after the US FDA issues a response on the company's biosimilar drug asking for more information, but management tells CNBC TV18 that they are confident that the response letter will not impact commercial launch timing of pegfilgrastim.
And Adani Transmission surges. Reliance Infra, though, has cooled off from the high point of today. Remember, Adani Transmission enters into an exclusivity period till January 2018 to buy Reliance Infra's Mumbai City power business.
And South Indian Bank tanks over 6.5% after reporting lower than estimated profit in Q2 due to a one-off in provisions. However, slippages are arrested and net interest margins come in at a 7-quarter high.
And OPEC says that India oil demand has seen the fastest growth in the world and that the growth is sustainable given the global investor interest in policy changes in India. That's an exclusive.
Okay, joining us today, we have Sharmila Joshi and Sandeep Wagle to answer all your stock queries. First up, let's get started and get in a caller. Bharat Chilani calls us from Jaipur with a query. He has investments in South Indian Bank. Bharat, thank you for joining us. Tell us how many stocks do you hold and what do you want to do with South Indian Bank today?
Yeah, good afternoon, madam. This is Bharat Chilani calling from Jaipur. Yeah, I am holding 5,000 share of South Indian Bank since 2014 at the average price of 31.
Okay.
So should I want sold or to keep?
Okay, Sharmila, let me get on to you on that. Today we saw the results, the stock tanked around 6%, but the asset quality hasn't really deteriorated too much. It is just a one-off provision. What's your advice for this one?
Yes, absolutely. So, as you said, prima facie, the numbers, when you say that profits are down 96%, the stock, reaction that we are seeing, the correction is a given. But, if you take a closer look at the numbers, then you realize that it is of higher provisioning, it is a one-off, and actually, if you look at NIMs, then they're fairly good. So, my sense is that this would be the wrong time to sell because, this is obviously a knee-jerk reaction post what seems like a bad set of numbers. And my target, though, maybe not substantially higher. I mean, I'm looking at a target of 37, 38 with a 9 to 12 month kind of a perspective. So, if you have the patience to hold on for that long, to stay invested.
Okay, all right then. So, that's advice that's coming in on a South Indian bank. I think we have Sandeep as well on the phone line. All right, Sandeep, your view?
Afternoon, Nigel. I would be bullish once the stock goes above 32, but I would as of now recommend a hold with a stop loss of 26.50, and I would talk of a target of 43 to 45 once above 32, and that would be a 1 year kind of a time horizon. So as of now, it is a hold.
Okay, all right. It's a hold. That's a fundamental as well as the technical view. Keep an eye out on the Nifty. You slipped a tad bit. After all these metal stocks have run up, you're seeing some profit booking today. Hindalco should come up for you in the screen. That one, in fact, has come off the high point of the day. And HPCL as well has dipped a tad bit. So let's pull up both those two stocks. Seeing a bit of a downtake in the last few minutes. Mahindra and Mahindra as well come in for a bout of some profit booking. Well, slip into a short break, come back, continue answering all your queries. Stay with us. Markets, couple of gainers today, and I'm spotting Lumax Industries. Remember, the stock saw a sharp correction from around that 1700 odd mark, 1650, all the way to around 1150, I think, a couple of weeks back. And just in the last, 10 days or so, it's given you close to around 15 to around 17%. Even in today's trading session, volumes are quite high. Otherwise, we don't see such high volumes. But in intraday chart as well should come up for you. You'll see that, in fact, the stock has virtually moved to the high point of the day. Keep your eye out on this one. It's seen a big run in the last couple of years. Saw a lot of profit booking, but gave you an opportunity. And in fact, that stock as well has spiked up. But let's go to our next caller. We have Atik, who writes to us from Ahmedabad. He holds 600 shares of JSPL at a price of around 67 since the last 10 months. Long-term investor wants to know whether to hold or sell. Sharmila?
I think he holds.
Hold on?
Yeah, I think that this is a company where they've done their capex, so increasingly you will get better numbers because now really it will all come in the bottom line. And the fact that we are globally seeing a better run for metals, I think that's very important at this point in time because really the domestic play is sort of protected by the fact that the government has taken steps to safeguard them from what's happening in China, etc. But I think if you see globally what's happening with iron ore prices and the entire metal space, whether it is aluminium, lead, you name it, I think there is a certain buzz around that entire space. So I think it makes sense to stay invested in JSPL. I don't have, I've read some very fancy targets on this, but I think that even from these levels, you should see a decent return of 10-15% at least.
Okay, Sharmila, and what about you, Sandeep? What's the chart telling you for JSPL?
I would recommend a hold as well. Keep a stop loss of 130. Talk of the next 10 to 12 months. A target of 190, 200 is very much likely.
Okay, so that's the word coming in for JSPL. But on that note, let's take a quick break. We will focus on some more stock queries when we return. Stay tuned.